day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on.
What's up, Moosen Spiel followers? It's a new collection video, and therefore at this point it's a new system to show. I've decided to show the PS4 collection that I own, and being that this new generation of games isn't so much pick up and play anymore as we saw with the old Nintendo, it's more or less theatrical. So I've decided to show a little bit of gameplay and kind of make a trailer, so to say, over the game. I'll still speak my thoughts over what I thought about it, and I hope everyone really enjoys what they have to see. So the first PS4 game I ever got, which is why this is the first one I'm showing you guys, is Far Cry 4 from Ubisoft. Now, compared to Far Cry 3, I like this one much, much more. Again, it's an action-adventure first-person shooter game in which you mostly just see the person's hands running in front of you, and it's quite comical, and being that Far Cry 3 was my first experience in a game like that, Far Cry 4 I met with mostly positive outlook on what the game was going to be. I was very surprised at the world design, the visuals, and particularly the characters were actually much, much better than Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3, I hated the main character. In this one, he is a main character, but it's really the antagonist in Pagan Min that takes this game away. He's really that kind of enemy, that evil guy that you really want to beat, and you're also scared of at the same time. Now, compared to Far Cry 3, where you're escaping the compound, Far Cry 4 takes a lot of similarities to it, but basically you're Ajay Gale, who's come to this fictional place, Kyrat, to spread his deceased mother's ashes, and somehow gets caught up in this crazy mess against Pagan Min. Naturally, this is a sandbox game, and it's Sandy of the Sandboxes. It's an open-world environment where you're free to explore, but yet you're really told where to go each place, and it's sort of that get to this compound and free it kind of deal, and that's kind of where sandbox games have really faulted on, in my opinion. One thing that really stands out in Far Cry 4 is the ability to ride and control animals, such as elephants, and it's just crazy just busting into a compound with one of these giant animals. The other animal to choose from is a tiger, and the tiger mainly just improves your offensive abilities, while the elephant improves defensive. So it's all your choice on how you want to go about freeing the next compound, going place to place. There's also this crazy helicopter that you can ride and soar over. And so these are good things in the game. One thing that really gets annoying are the eagles in the game that constantly just ruin your day, and that's not really fun. It's kind of something that should have been bugged out of the game. If I were to sum up Far Cry 4, it's a fun shooter game with sandbox elements to it, and a crazy awesome antagonist, one of the best I've seen in quite some time. So the game's not too bad, but it's not great either. This next game is the physical release of Life is Strange. It originally came out on Steam, but when this PS4 version came out, I had to get it. I've always been intrigued by this game because it reminds me a lot of the game Remember Me, which is from the same development studio as Dontnod Entertainment. Remember Me is another one with a female protagonist in which she controls time in some form of fashion. But when it came to the female protagonist area, Square Enix was the only one that actually wanted the female person. All other studios that were going to take on this job wanted a male, but Dontnod Entertainment decided to stick to their roots and say, no, it's a female. And I gotta commend them for that. This is kind of like an homage to the old point-and-click adventures, in which this is a third-person view in which you're solving puzzles and you go about the environment by changing dialogue and branching paths, due to the fact that our main character, Maxine here, has time travel abilities, or at least the ability to rewind time. And it's really put in a way that really engages the viewer, and the whole story that unfolds, you feel like you're part of the story with Maxine herself.
Portraits are famous
the story is separated into 5 total chapters, and this was from a standpoint of the pacing and the reason Square Enix for their ability to publish the game properly and to distribute the funds properly as well. So it's very interesting, and we saw the same thing happen in Resident Evil Revelations 2, in which Capcom then went that direction as well. I'm actually very happy it was divided into these chapters, because the pacing is incredibly slow. It's almost like you have to play the game one chapter at a time, take a break, and then go to the next chapter. And it's done very well. Even though the graphically, it seems like it's kind of primitive, but being that it's from a small studio and then published by Square Enix, it's almost like Square Enix said, yeah, well, why not? Let's just put this on the back burner while we make our better games. But whoa, man, did Life is Strange not disappoint.
What the fuck? How can that be?
Now, this game is brought to you by Sega, and it's the PS4 version of Alien Isolation. What makes this game interesting is that it's set 15 years after the events of the original Alien movie, and it follows Amanda Ripley, whom is the daughter of Ellen Ripley, who was the main protagonist in Alien. Ripley? So it's directly related to the movie, which makes all fans, including myself, very intrigued in this movie. This is a stealth survival horror game requiring the player to avoid a single alien over the entire game. And you get gadgets like the motion trackers and awesome weapons like a flamethrower to fight off the alien. Now, as good as the beginning is, ranging from the moonwalk, setting the mood, the atmosphere, it's all so engaging. But for some reason, once you finally see the alien, the game gets dull pretty quick. So that is something that is very surprising to me. It's almost like they made the game too long, and therefore loses so much of it so quick. That's my only gripe about this. Luckily, the game keeps that nice alien atmosphere from beginning to end, even putting so many homages to the old movie, like the hostile androids and whatnot. I really like what this game has done for the horror genre, and I hope to see more games coming out like this. Basically, it's a spooky ride that nobody should miss out on, at least until you see that alien. Until Dawn is an interactive horror video game by Supermassive Games, and it's a PlayStation exclusive. It's also another game that involves branching paths and the butterfly effect coming into play, much like Life is Strange, where your decisions impact the future. Now, what makes this game super fun and crazy is that you're a group of 8 teenagers in Canada, of all places, stuck in a cabin while this crazy killer, or killers, or enemy is threatening their lives. And it really pays an homage to the old slasher films of the 80s, like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees of the time. The horror elements, the music, the characters, the voice acting, it's all excellent, including a guest appearance by Hayden, which we all know from the TV show Heroes. There are some weird aspects of the game that aren't very good, such as if you make one mistake, a character is permadeath, and you really don't know that you're going to make that mistake. But all in all, it's a great game, good experience for Halloween, if any time it has to be played. I personally really enjoyed my experience with Until Dawn, and I really hope that the gameplay elements related to Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls actually keeps this momentum up into later games. I love the horror genre, and I love this. Finally, probably one of the best PlayStation exclusives is Bloodborne, from the developers of From Software, the same guys who brought us Dark Souls and whatnot. It is hard, to say the least, which is definitely Dark Souls-esque. However, it's a lot quicker paced than Dark Souls, and a much longer game with a DLC, which is essentially a crazy sequel. You play as a character known as a hunter in this gothic Victorian era-esque city called Yarnum, and everyone's afflicted with this abnormal disease called Bloodborne, and you seek out different areas, you crazy boss battles, NPCs. Now, the cryptic lore of the game is very Dark Souls-esque, in which you don't really understand, and basically someone needs to explain it for you, or you get a strategy guide or look up the story online. But man, those boss battles are crazy good. The visuals of this game are incredibly breathtaking. Right from the start of the game, you wake up and you already have to fight this demon werewolf-like creature. And much of the enemies remind me of a lot of novels from H.P. Lovecraft, such as Dracula. Even the architecture reminds me of those things. And man, like I said, the game is brutal, but like most of the Dark Souls games and Demon Souls, it's still fair. As long as you're persistent enough to get better at the game, level up, and keep trying, whether it's exploring the branching paths or just enjoying the environments, the game is done extremely well. Instead of lighting bonfires like in Dark Souls, you light lanterns. So, in many elements, it's exactly the same, just with a darker, more evil-like environment. But once you get that weapon and you come and wreck the house of this werewolf creature, it feels really good. The level up system is all about the blood echoes, and basically just explore the world and see what happens when you get to the end. And the boss battles are the most fun. The environments are breathtaking. I mean, I could just go on and on about this game. It's really good, really hard. Don't miss out if you have a PS4. Well, I hope everyone just enjoyed the latest iteration in the collection video series here on Moosen Spiel. The next video will continue the PS4 collection that we have here, and I hope you guys really enjoy. I enjoy making these, and the whole point we're making these videos for our collection is to show you guys, the viewers, what we own, so you can make suggestions of what games you would like to see played. One was Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and we already got it going up once a week on Tuesdays, so keep them coming. Metroid Prime was another suggestion, and we happen to have that game, so you will see that eventually in the GameCube collection. So, hope you guys enjoyed the series as much as we have, and look forward to the next one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to the channel so you're always updated on the videos that come out every day. Thank you very much.